Welcome to the channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more exciting stories from Reddit. Story 1. My wife went out last night, and didn't come home until this morning. This is horrible, I'm furious right now. But I'm also depressed as hell. I know what I have to do, it's just killing me that I have to do it. It's fresh, and it hurts a lot. My wife didn't come home last night. She went out with a couple of girlfriends, which is pretty normal for her. She's normally back around 2 a.m. on these nights, so I waited up. Around 2:30, I called to check in. She answered, and I could hear people in the background. She told me they went to a party but were leaving in a couple of minutes. She wasn't home by 3, so I texted. It delivered, but no reply. Around 4 a.m. I called again. It rang a couple of times before she sent me to voicemail. My wife finally came stumbling through the door at 6:47 a.m. this morning. I know the exact time because I was worried. She was wearing a dress she didn't leave the house in, with mesh leggings I've never seen either. The leggings had clearly been torn, and her makeup was smudged. My heart sank when I saw her. My immediate worry was that she had been assaulted. She only shook her head no when I asked her that. I asked her what she had been doing then. She only said that I knew what she had been doing, and that kind of confirmed what the voice in the back of my head had been screaming since she walked in. My wife cheated on me last night. I asked her who it was. She shrugged almost casually and said it was somebody they met at the club. She went back to his house and hooked up with him, then Ubered home. She then said she didn't want to fight and just wanted to sleep. So that's what she did. She's still asleep now, and didn't even take a shower before passing out. Suffice to say, our relationship is over. We don't have any kids, and we rent, so it shouldn't be an extremely complicated process. I keep trying to reason myself out of it, pretending there might be something to salvage here. I've always maintained that cheating would be a red line for me though. I think I need to stick to that now. Update 1. Me again, folks. I'm sorry I didn't get around to this sooner. I wasn't able to get the day off work yesterday because my boss kind of sucks. I was a complete mess at work yesterday though, so I was allowed to take the rest of the week as vacation, thankfully. I think I went through all of the stages of grief while my soon-to-be ex was sleeping. I wasn't expecting my post to get any attention at all. I just figured I needed to try to talk to someone about it, because I was not in a good headspace. I made the post in the morning, and by noon she was still conked out in the bedroom. I had processed things a bit more, and I had a rough plan in my head that I was starting to set in motion. I made a short list of questions I wanted answers to, gathered up all my important documents, laptop, etc. Then I went into the bedroom and started packing myself a suitcase. I know a lot of folks wanted me to kick her out. I did consider it, but honestly I'm not overly attached to this place. We just rent, and I'm in a lucky enough situation to be able to say that paying half the rent for a few months isn't going to financially end me. It'll sting a little bit, I won't lie. But I'll make it, and I feel like being around this place is only going to remind me of her anyway. I need to be looking forward, not back. She ended up waking up about halfway through me packing my suitcase. There was momentary confusion as she looked around the room, then she just started bawling. Maybe this is awful of me, but I didn't bother comforting her. I told her I had the screenshots of her Uber and text messages from her phone, and that plus her confirmation was enough that things between us were completely done. She didn't answer me, and just cried louder. I debated trying to continue the conversation, but I decided to just pack the rest of my suitcase and head back out to the living room until she came out. When she finally left the bedroom, she sat next to me on the couch and asked me if we could talk things through. I told her as calmly as possible that wasn't how things were going to work. I was going to ask questions, I wanted honest answers. She told me she'd be honest, so I proceeded. My voice was shaking the entire time, it was taking me everything to hold it together, but I kept going. Was this the first time she had cheated? She started crying before she answered that, then told me no. She had cheated on me multiple times over the course of our relationship. It was, and I'm going to use her words exactly here, just says, a way for me to let off steam. None of it ever meant anything. I wrote a comment shortly after making my post that all the love couldn't just fade away in one swoop. Well, it can. It hit me right then that I wasn't dealing with my wife. The person I was married to literally wasn't in the room. This was someone different. She refused to tell me exactly how many times she had cheated, just more than last night. Had she used protection? No hesitation from her before she nodded her head emphatically. She seemed surprised I'd even asked that. I'm still going to get tested just to be safe. I did some research into timing and I'm going to look after it. Were her friends also cheating on their spouses? Yes, and no. I tried to get her to tell me which of her friends were cheating so I could get in contact with their spouses. She probably should have, because her refusal led to me messaging pretty much the romantic partner of every one of her girlfriends I could find on social media. There are a couple I don't know or couldn't find, but I did my part. Why did she do it? This was the answer that gutted me the most. I'm going to use her exact words again. I need to have seasonal variety. I told her that it's not like our says life is dull. She clarified. It's not the same as something new. I didn't even have a response to that one. I had expected something about me working too much, or not supporting her emotionally. Nope. She just ducked other guys because she felt like it, and wanted to have some fun. When I didn't respond, she started asking me about counseling and therapy. I reiterated that our relationship was over. I'd be leaving. What she did next disgusted me. My ex actually tried to have sex with me. She put her hands on me, and started trying to take off my clothes. I felt like I wanted to vomit, and pushed her away after a couple of seconds. She just kept telling me that she would figure out a way to fix it, that we would work through it together. I told her that there was no way, and she started bawling again. She went to the bathroom and locked herself inside. I was just sick of everything at that point. I called her mother, and told her what was going on. The full story too, the cheating, the questions I had asked, and the fact I was leaving. I've always had a good relationship with my ex's parents. They both decided to drive to town, which is about an hour for them. Once I knew someone was on the way, I just grabbed my things and left. Her waterworks in the bathroom were just annoying me because it felt hollow to me, especially given the answers to my questions. I ended up packing another bag before I left, and took all the things that I could think of that I felt sentimental attachment to, with me. I found a parking lot and sat in my car until I was able to get in contact with a buddy for a place to crash. I tried to take a nap, but I was running on way too much adrenaline. I knew when her parents had made it to the apartment because she started calling me. When I didn't answer those, she started texting me. She had gone from sad and crying to furious. Apparently I'm a ducking piece of crap for telling her mom everything. Whoops. I'm not sorry. I've received roughly 100 texts from her since leaving. They range from name-calling all the way to begging me to come back, to sending me pictures of the food she ate for some reason. I haven't responded to any of them. I feel like I said my piece before leaving. So that's where I'm at now. We didn't have joint finances, so that part was easy. I cancelled all the subscriptions that go to my credit card just to be sure, and changed all my important passwords. I'm crashing on a friend's couch for the next bit, but I've got some feelers out to some short-term rental places until I can find something more permanent. I've got feelers out for a divorce attorney too. A coworker of mine had a recommendation, so barring something better I'll probably go with them. I also wanted to say that I was shocked how supportive everyone was, and thank you for that. Truly, from the bottom of my heart. It isn't easy for me to talk about emotional things with people close to me. This was an invaluable venting place for me. Thank you all so much. TLDR, this wasn't the first time she had cheated on me. I packed up my things and left, and I think I'm on track to being in a better place. Working on initiating divorce proceedings now. Update 2. Hey, folks. I'm happy. I guess. To say that this will be the final update to what has been probably the most difficult chapter of my life. I've felt an immense amount of support from the community here from my initial 2 posts, so I wanted to give a short update. Bottom line, my ex and I both signed the final papers for our divorce this week. It feels kind of surreal to think about that still. About 2 weeks into everything, she got resistant. I cut her off entirely and she refused to return my attorney's calls for a little while. Eventually things got back on track. As for the infidelity itself, I don't have a ton more details to share with you. We did a short mediation, and by that time I didn't feel there was any remorse on her end. I've talked about that a lot with my therapist. I'm in therapy, by the way. It still hurts that someone who I thought loved me could have apparently cared about me so little, but I'm working through it. That's really all I've got to share. Thanks again, everybody, for your advice and support. Story 2. Girlfriend wanted an open relationship, so I broke up with her. Now she wants to get back together. I, 23M, was dating my ex, 23F, up until a month ago. We were together for 4 years before that. So before we broke up she was acting distant for a good month, then as of last month sat me down and asked for an open relationship. The minute those words came out of her mouth I broke up with her. I came into this relationship expecting a monogamous relationship, and now she wanted to change the relationship. I only want to be with one person. If we couldn't agree on that, saw no future. With the way she was acting before this, I can't trust her, and even if she wasn't acting shady I wouldn't be able to trust her anyway for suggesting it. Those are some of the reasons I decided to break up with her. I'm that moment, even though it might seem harsh. If someone wants a relationship like that, the relationship should start like that for it to be healthy, not just dumped on your partner after years of monogamy. Now I've been getting texts and voicemails from her crying to take her back and that she didn't mean it. I'm not sure what to think. Some people have been telling me that I acted too rash and didn't even give us time to work it out, and that it was cruel of me to do that. Is this something I acted too quick with or not? TLDR, girlfriend suggested open relationship. I broke it off, now she wants to get back together. Update. I thought I would give an update since people DM me to post one when I can. I didn't expect to update this soon though. After posting and expressing to some people that I had a suspicion she cheated on me, I couldn't get the nagging feeling out of my head. I didn't want to know at first, but decided to go digging and ask mutual friends what ex had been up to that month she was acting shady. I didn't expect one of her closest friends to spill the beans, but she did. My suspicions were correct. She had been cheating on me with a mutual friend's cousin. I decided to message the guy on FB. When I messaged him, he wanted to meet in person, so I met him at a local pub. When I got there he apologized and explained everything. How he didn't know she was in a relationship, and that the day she called me wanting me back is the day he found out and broke it off. I can't fault the guy, he seemed genuine and really apologetic. On the plus side, I drank for free the entire time. He seems like a great guy, especially considering how he broke it off right away once he knew. I won't lie, he's a handsome and great guy, and I would let him duck me to rub it in my ex's face, lol. But at least I have a bit of closure now. I've blocked my ex on everything and I'm gathering her stuff she's left here to mail to her so she doesn't come knocking. It's taking a lot of power not to leave a note in the box along the lines of, "Mark seems nice, too bad you lost him too." Sorry if some of this makes no sense. I'm typing this on phone and my fat thumbs are doing me no favors. It also doesn't help I'm a bit tipsy, but I'm glad I could vent and get advice from you beautiful duckers of Reddit. TLDR, she was cheating. Story 3. My entire family disowned me cause they thought I cheated on my girlfriend. Now my sister wants to reconcile on her wedding day, but I declined cause they are dead to me. I'll try to keep this as short as possible and get straight to the point. If there is some info you need or want me to elaborate on some topic, just ask me in the comments. Basically what the title says. I quote, unquote, cheated on my GF. I did not cheat on her. She wanted to open up the relationship. I found out later that she just wanted to sleep with a certain someone. When she found out that I had also started sleeping with someone else, well, she didn't take it very well and told me to stop seeing her. I declined, saying that I hadn't broken any of the rules we agreed upon, and she just went nuclear on me. She told my family that I had cheated on her. To say that they didn't take it well would be an understatement. They basically disowned me. My dad had been cheated on twice before he met my mom, and my mom's ex-husband left her and their kid, my half-sister, for a woman half his age, and in addition my younger sister met one of those stereotypical jocks that treated her like crap and constantly cheated on her. So yeah, my entire family, parents, sister, and half-sister just loathe cheaters. My ex, who my entire family loved like one of their own, told them that I was cheating on her and also told them the type of sex we were having. They just disowned me. I tried talking with them for 3 to 4 months, to have them hear out my side of the story, but they refused to even see me, much less talk with me. The final straw was when I went to my parents' house on my birthday while it was raining at 11 in the night, begging them to talk to me, but they ended up calling the police on me. My friends also treated me the same. It's been about 2.5 years now, and I've been doing okay. I moved away to another state and I don't really have a social life anymore and put all of my energy on either my job or the gym. I got a call yesterday from my sister saying that she was getting married and she wanted me to be there with her on her special day since we used to be very close, which is true, and that she is willing to forgive and forget. I asked her to expand on that and she told me that she will forgive me for cheating on someone and is unwilling to forget that I was a horrible human being for doing so. I told her that I am not available, and have a good day and never to contact me again, and hung up without explaining. My phone is now blasted with messages and calls which I have not bothered listening to. Now should I actually be trying to reconcile with them cause they are my family? Because I really don't want to. They dropped me without ever listening to me, just shunned me for something that I didn't even do. Also, one more thing I wanted to ask you guys, is this something I should get therapy for? I don't know much about therapy. The only person I have told my story to is my secretary and she advised me to get some. Update. First of all, I want to thank everyone for your responses and for all the support that you guys have shown me. I have not been able to reply to all the comments since there are so many, but I am definitely reading each and every single one. Now, about 2 days after I posted, I took your advice and sent them an email that explains what exactly went down in our relationship. I told them how I felt through it all. It was a very long and detailed letter, and I basically ended the letter by saying that I don't care what you choose to believe, I have lived my life just fine without any of you for more than 2 years. I don't really factor into your lives anymore and none of you do in mine. I hope that you all have a great life ahead of you, especially you sister's name and your fiance, but I'm done with this ordeal. And my final piece of advice for you sister's name, maybe try listening to your future kids when such a situation arises instead of assuming the worst of them. I also linked the original post in the email and have decided not to reconcile with any of them. My reasoning? Why should I? They obviously don't love me like a family should, otherwise they might have shown me at least a little bit of compassion and at least try to hear my side of the story, and I will never be able to rely on them or trust them as I once did, even if I did choose to reconcile. So that's that. As for therapy, well, I have pretty much isolated myself for the last 2 years and don't really talk to people. I don't really feel any pain or hurt from what happened anymore. My major issue is that I just can't bring myself to trust people. I know that not everyone is like that, but how am I supposed to know that this person won't betray me like that? One of the things this situation has taught me that the people you love can stab you much deeper than your enemies. Regardless, I'm going to try to socialize with people again and try to live life as a human and not a robot anymore. If I still have some irrational trust issues or something like that, then I will definitely look towards therapy. Oh, and also I got a new number and I will use the previous one, which is the one that is being blasted, to record everything, just in case. Once again, I want to thank all of you for your advice and all the support that you have shown.